Probably is.
I think maybe there's a little bit wrong with
I'll
you.
let you take the lead on this.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries.
Right.
No worries.
All right, I'm just going to start. Welcome back to another episode of the Creative Escapade. Today, I have some experienced podcasters on the... How about you guys introduce it? I mean, you're more experienced than me.
I mean,
Who are you?
podcasting isn't just an auditory journey for us anymore. Podcasting is more about the experience of the sound waves hitting not just the ears, but the respective...
But the hearts.
the heart.
The hearts.
That's what I'm
of
trying to
those
get
out
at.
there. Yeah.
And we do a podcast called Talkie Boys, but it's not just about that. I mean, it's about other things.
Like girls.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's
And
not
also
just for the boys.
speaking. But we take our art very seriously.
Yeah. What is going on?
How was that?
Is that what you wanted? You want us to be professionals or what?
It wasn't what I expected. Not
I've
gonna
never
lie,
been
but-
interviewed before. This is a big deal. Trying to be professional about it.
All right, who are either? Introduce yourselves individually.
You start.
And-
The
not a-
weak links go first.
The runtish one can go first.
Oh my
Let the one
God.
with the big forehead go first. That's fine. My name is Aaron Drew. I'm a...
Hey, give me something. Come on.
Okay.
Take it seriously. It's a serious
Dude,
podcast.
this is
Currently, I'm
serious.
about to wrap up my final year studying film and television and animation, although we don't really like animation.
And
but,
that's
at
big.
Deakin University. So I'm a filmmaker. I'm the filmy boy. He's the soundy boy. Do you want to introduce yourself, Mikey D?
Wow, you really gave yourself a glowing wrap up there. My name is Michael Dodazio. I don't have a middle name. My parents didn't think that was necessary.
You noticed that welcome to Joy Radio slipping in there. Look at that. I'll
Are
train
you just
professional.
jealous that I have a good platform for... Actually, I don't have it anymore. Anyway, my name is Mikey D by the radio audiences. I do a podcast with Aaron called Talkie Boys. I'm a radio host. I make a little bit of film on the side, a bit of content. I started the hashtag content movement. I'm a really big advocate for... Oh, yeah, can I plug what I'm an advocate for?
Yeah, go for it.
Huge fan of pasta and only letting pasta be eaten and consumed by Italians. I'm really passionate about that.
Just keeping that very niche food.
Don't appropriate my food
Indie
culture. No, yeah, look, I don't know how to give myself a wrap up. I just quit all my jobs recently and I'm about to go work on a boat for 6 months.
He will be dearly missed.
For those auditory listeners, Aaron shook his head.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
That's one of Aaron's biggest flaws in the podcast is he's such a visual person. He does so many visual
I
jokes.
do so many visual jokes, and all of the people listening are just like, "Why is there this awkward 5-second silence?" And they never understand. Still, it's a little something funny. I thank you for having us on, though, Joel. I'm
No
so sorry for
worries.
making a butchery of the opening.
No,
of this
no, no.
podcast.
This is the best opening I've ever had.
Oh, shut up. You hear that?
It's the second
Yeah.
opening he's ever had.
To those auditory listeners, they are looking at the camera right now. That's
Yeah, I need to
Breaking
look
the
at
fourth wall.
Love it.
I was going to say, this is your first visual podcast appearance in months.
It has been a fair
How does it
while.
feel to wear clothes?
Oh, yeah. Way to out us like that. Mikey and I have been sitting butt naked, just holding hands
Starkers.
every podcast.
No holding hands.
No holding hands.
No.
Looking into each other's eyes, maybe.
Yeah, it's a different experience wearing clothes. I burnt all my clothes. So I had to go buy a whole new set.
Yeah,
Just
we
for
thought that we
now.
were done with the visual aspect, but apparently not. Thanks for dragging us back. You know, I had to
Don't
put
worry.
contacts in this morning because I was like, nah,
He's so insecure about wearing
nah,
glasses.
I'll just do it.
I don't understand that.
He's got cameras.
Blind people are all insecure about wearing glasses, but they wear them almost 24/7. But when they want to go out, they then don't wear glasses, they wear contacts, and they look ugly because I'm used to them with glasses on.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that? Oh, they're fake compliments. Oh, you look different. You getting your hair cut? No, I'm not wearing glasses. Oh, that's why.
Yeah, your eyes look beady in comparison to what they normally do, and they're magnified by glasses.
Choose one, man. You got to get used to the one look. You got to consistent in your
Yeah.
image.
Consistent image. That's what's part of being a celebrity.
Maybe I'll stick with the glasses. There's no worse feeling for those who wear contacts out there. There's no worse feeling than waking up after a night of binge drinking and you've left your
Wow,
contacts
this
in,
went dark quick.
and you can't feel what you're seeing anymore. It's just pain.
Here at
It's all
Talkie
pain.
Boys, we don't condone the binging of drinking.
Not actually on Talkie Boys. So, I mean, here at the Creative Escapade, we...
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for pulling him.
Well, we
in
don't.
line.
I don't know if you did. I don't know if you like. Maybe you're a big advocate for just binge drinking and alcohol
You've
abuse.
swung this
We're
around.
not.
You've swung this around. So, Joel, how long have you been a filmmaker for? You know, I'm going to nick the SD card, so I'm going to go home and snip it up into
I was
a
going to
vlog.
say, you're going to make it
5
into a
months to do it,
feature
though.
film. We should talk for 90 minutes, make it a feature. There we go.
Please make it all
Feature
special.
podcast film. Sorry, please interview us. We're sorry we're taking.
Put that on the Asta. Yes, please continue.
No, that's okay. I'm just worried. I'm not sure if my audience doesn't know you. I don't know if they're going to know what's going on.
Great call. Quick synopsis of Talkie Boys. We started it because I host radio, as you know, and I've made it abundantly clear so far. I host radio and I wanted to do something with Aaron because we didn't catch up as much as we do now. And so we thought it'd be a cool idea just to catch up, and a podcast would be two birds, one stone. Like, I get to practice, he gets to do film stuff.
And we both get to chat.
Yeah.
And that was basically how it was born. And then it turned into something a little bit more extravagant. And I kind of liked it.
Like we started getting audience, listeners from
albeit
America
a small
and stuff.
Melbourne audience, most of which are kids, I think.
And then we branched out, like we've got like some like stragglers from Canada and America.
True, that is
it's just so strange. You get messages like, "Hey guys, when's the next podcast?" And they genuinely care.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Basically, it's just
nice.
a two white males. It's never been done before. It's a podcast of two white males.
Settle a little qualm that I have. Is Michael...
All right.
Okay, being an Italian, you grab all
You
of
know
the
this sounds racist, right?
No, but you grab all of the aspects of being Italian, saying only Italians can eat pasta. And then you come out and say, as a white person, what are you?
Am I not allowed to identify as both? I feel like it's classic white
no,
man. Classic white man over
Here we
here
go.
telling me how I can identify.
You've outed me to all of the audio listeners as a white man. They were in the dark
You
before.
sound whiter than white. It's not an outing thing.
So we've been doing it for about a year and a half now.
yeah, true.
I've been waiting for it to finish for so long, but now that Mike is going on a cruise ship for 6 months, I can finally have a little bit of respite.
Yeah, it's
So
just
that's us.
It's just
I was going to
goofy.
say I had a bunch of good follow up questions to that, but then you just started talking about Italians, and I just got lost in
Way
my
to take
brain.
it off
So
the
I'm
rails,
just talking now to fill the space.
We won't. We promise. Pinky promise. And Pinky promise is Joel. We're Pinky promising audience. We are not going to at all derail this anymore. It's a sophisticated interview now about creatives.
Okay.
Hello?
All right. We're all about creatives now, and
Who's
the
that?
phone is definitely ringing.
Really good timing.
Let's just pause.
just pausing.
We're in a pause, everyone.
I inhaled some of that water.
Oh,
Thanks. Oh. Hey, did it.
Okay, we're back on the air. I was gonna. So, Talkie Boys originally started as you two just wanted to have a chat to
Yeah.
each other and just having some fun. But as at the rise of content, would you say?
Content.
I was wondering, was the sort of goal to have a podcast then turning into finding a bit more of an audience, or was the podcast sort of your big project that you wanted people to follow?
no. You mean you can answer this if you want?
I feel like... Well, like, how would you rephrase the question? Like, wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, say if you're going on your own creative endeavors, you could find more of an audience by doing a podcast.
I think it was never about, because we didn't expect to get that much of a following. Obviously, it was ideal, like when we started, to get a little one, and obviously it is still a little one. But it was more like, I think a lot of creators out there have multiple outlets, and I think that was kind of what I enjoyed about it, is because I do film. Podcasting is really nothing like film. And so it was kind of something completely different out of left field that I could do. And yeah, you kind of really gave me the opportunity to branch out a little bit.
And to answer the core of the question, no. We really just wanted to catch up. There was no ulterior motive of we could be big. We could make T-shirts and we could do merch lines and, we could sell out arenas. Like, we haven't done any of those things, mind you. But we never had that in mind. It was literally, we just wanted to catch up because it was only ever maybe twice
Very
a month.
rarely, yeah.
And like, we loved hanging out. We needed a reason to do it because we're both very busy, and that was it.
Yeah. Okay.
Little did I know. Little did I know.
No, we said we weren't going to derail.
Oh, sorry. This is a genuine fear in Joel's eyes. Here it goes again.
I don't mind too much. You can derail. That's fine. I was going to say, is that a dream you've had? The Talkie Boys live on stage, selling at arenas around the world. You just get up on stage and start having a conversation. You act like no one else is in the room.
We genuinely do that anyway, don't we? No, I think it's a dream. Will it come true? Who knows?
It's more of a nightmare for me. The thing is, when we do Talkie Boys, there's so many things that are edited out where because I'm an ass behind the camera, behind the scenes.
Completely and utterly.
Aaron will be there and I'll start I'll intro the podcast. Like, g'day guys, welcome back to Talkie Boys in this episode. And Aaron will be there on his phone looking at the content for the day, getting it up. And I'm trying to make eye contact with him and he's on his phone.
I'm trying to kick anyway.
And I'm just like, and I just like crack into him. So we edit that part out. So you guys see us as a loving friendship, and it's not.
My favorite part is moments before we start rolling. Okay, Aaron. Okay, I don't want you feeling with the microphone this time. All right, I want you on your phone. Hey everybody, welcome back to Talkie Boys.
And they say,
so
don't
true.
meet your heroes.
Yeah.
This has been traumatic for
Yeah,
me.
it's truly traumatic for both of us.
He's told the audience 1,000 times he's got ADHD, but it's actually like that. It's true. He'll be
Managed to
there.
Slip it into his podcast.
It's kind of ironic that you've brought it up now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I feel like
thank you.
He doesn't
You
need to
saved
bring it
me.
up anymore. You just bring it up
I'm
for him.
taking it away from him. This is one thing he loves doing.
Fantastic.
But if there's something to fiddle with, and I'm the same, if there's something to fiddle with, he'll start doing it. So those bits get edited out. So I would love to see how we'd go live. I reckon we wouldn't be able to have any props there. It'd just be us and lapel mics. We couldn't give you a microphone because you'd fiddle with that.
My hands would be bound. My legs would be tied together. I wouldn't be
It'd
able
be
to
like a
move.
strafe jacket, I reckon.
If he had his way, I'd be gagged as well, and it'd just be him.
Yeah.
But, in an ideal world, I guess.
I mean, you'll have that aspect like people won't know if it's funny or not that you just have a tied up dude on stage. It's like, wait, is he actually tied up or is this part of the
it's
show?
just to make sure he focuses. It's okay.
That's how you can bring it up
General
the
procedure.
ADHD, every podcast, every show.
true,
Then
it's true.
It's perfect.
Hey, that's a good idea. I'll write that one down.
Aaron in the strafe.
I'll be in a straight jacket. Beautiful.
Am I saying it right? Is it straight or strafe?
Straight.
Oh, damn.
I think.
I've got it wrong. Continue.
I was going to say let's just ignore Aaron for a bit. I'm just going to suck up to my hero. I met Michael Dodazio on a cruise ship actually.
He did.
In the mid of 2017,
I remember
which has led to all this madness. I swear I've told you this 6 times, but every time you're like, what? On a cruise ship?
That's just
I
kind of
remember
me.
it specifically too because we were on the dance floor and there was DJ, what was his name?
Oh, MJ, was it?
Oh, he had
Oh,
a weird,
no, it
he had a
wasn't
terrible
MJ.
name. It wasn't
Yeah.
good. It was something to the tune of Sick Beats. Like, just
Yeah.
bad.
No, so bad. I'm thinking of a different thing, but yeah.
How long ago was this?
2 years.
2 years ago.
Oh.
So he was on the dance floor and we were just vibing out together. And we quickly realized we were from the exact same suburb. And then we realized we were not even a block away from each other. In the middle of the ocean, like out in Whoop Whoop. And I don't know what your retelling of the story was, but it was a shock to me that someone was so close.
Yeah.
We were muzzing on the dance floor.
Yeah, we were.
Back in 2017.
Those were the
Oh,
days.
those were the days.
Oh my God.
How long did it take you guys to realize that you were both into content creation? I've taken over.
I think, yeah, it was after I followed you on your bunch of things, and
Yeah.
that's
Right.
when I was like, oh, this
Yeah.
dude does stuff.
it was
And
meant
then,
to be.
and then Joel just started cranking out film after film. And I was like, holy moly, we didn't even know. We were just dance buddies on the cruise ship. He was just out there pimping with the ladies. I was in a relationship at the time, so I was not pimping. I was what was the opposite of pimping? I was hoeing? No. That's
No, selling yourself is not.
I did notice on that cruise ship you were taking a lot of time out to plan like stuff, like creative stuff you wanted to do. Is that always a thing on your brain, even on a cruise ship?
Yeah, it
Just a
sucks
fellow
because it doesn't
tortured soul.
stop. It doesn't. It never stops. Like my best ideas come to me when I'm about to go to bed. It'll be 12 o'clock, or I'll wake up and I'll have this idea, and it end up being one of my best ideas. But it's always late at night, or when I'm just like trying to relax in the shower. I learned to when the shower gets foggy, I learned to write backwards so that I could read my ideas when I get out of the shower because I'd always have these ideas and I'd take notes.
Imagine for a second, your mum walks in and you're furiously scribbling on the.
It looks like I'm going insane writing backwards.
It's like our beautiful minds within the shower, just trying to piece everything together.
It's like the Titanic can, but instead of sexual pleasure, it's like, oh, my brain, so many good ideas.
beautiful.
Yeah, it never turns off though.
Wonderful.
ever.
The thing is, whenever he has one of these brainwaves, no matter what time or where it is, he always rings me up immediately.
Really?
So I'll be doing something. I'll be on the toilet. I'll be driving to work. I'll be asleep. All right,
Yeah.
and you'll call me up and he'll tell me this awful, what I usually think is this is really
Yeah.
out of left field idea, and I never know how to react. But hey, one such idea got him 63,000 views on
250,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
on TikTok. So hey, maybe he's onto something. Look at you go.
Yeah. Yeah, you know it. It's just-
You are bumpy. Yeah, it's all over the
the
top.
brain doesn't stop. Like when I
Yeah.
started doing TikToking as well, like that was just for fun.
I just threw a mad double shuckers for those who are in
What's up, 12-year-old kids? How are you? Follow me on TikTok. No, but yeah, I remember I started doing that, and it was the most fun I'd had in ages because I love visual content.
Yeah.
And my phone was flooded with ideas. Like, you just wouldn't. All hours of the day, and I'd call Aaron, hey, I need you for this, I need you for that. Let's shoot this, let's shoot that. Yeah, you know, it just doesn't stop. When you're passionate,
Yeah.
doesn't.
Especially if you have a good bean like Aaron, who's just like, okay.
Yeah,
he takes
I'll
notes
film
for
it
me.
for you.
I'll be driving like, Aaron, are you at home? Yes. Can you take this note for me? It's like my PA.
Yeah, I really should be getting paid, but that's fine. We'll talk about
And
that.
now
one
he's just
later.
leaving, and you're not getting anything.
No, I feel you've left me high and dry. I'm very sad.
How are you with your creative process there?
Oh, thank you.
I was
Thank you.
about to ask.
How about you ask Joel? How about we do that?
This is a podcast about me. It's about other people. Before I'll ditch you in a second and get to
Okay.
Aaron. But on these cruise ships, has that influenced your decision to leave the country and go DJ on a cruise ship for 6 months?
When I'm
Is it just-
holidaying,
yeah. Did your idea for going and yeeting out of the country onto a cruise ship for 6 months, did that come from seeing, say, DJs on
time.
cruise ships or yeah?
big time, like especially hour one, the DJ sucked. And I was like, man, I can do that so much better. And I can interact with the audience. And I'm already a DJ. So I wasn't like I was just going to learn it. But I love emceeing. And so I'm an MC and a DJ on this boat coming up. I said, that's a cool life. And you're traveling and you're making money from it. And my biggest thing as a creator is I get lonely so often because all the work I do, the majority of it, if I'm not on radio or doing Talkie Boys with Aaron, is at home planning and by myself for so many hours in the day. So the idea of being on a boat surrounded by 1,000 employees and then 2,000 guests is so cool.
Yeah, it's like a big exclusive thing, and you'd see the same people every day, and
Yeah, consistent contact is awesome.
Yeah.
And they're all creatives that I'll be chilling with, like all entertainers, people from all parts of the world. That the idea of that and seeing, like, and making friends like as you did with the bartenders and you chat to them.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, big time. So excited. And that definitely inspired me.
Because I was most intrigued by that because in a way you are on a creative escapade.
Yeah.
You were embodying
Full circle there.
yeah. There you go.
Embarking on a journey of self-discovery.
It was as
Something like
wanky as
that.
it sounds.
Something
yeah.
like that.
kind of it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's the scariest thing I've ever done because I've achieved everything I've wanted to achieve in terms of radio. Like I'm working at the Fox and Triple M, and that's awesome. And I'm doing a radio show, which is all I've ever wanted. And I'm throwing it all away. Like all the last 3 years of work, I'm throwing it away and starting from scratch because I'm not enjoying it as much as I should be. And that's because I'm just drowning myself in too many creative pursuits. And I think I just want to have a bit of fun and go party and do something a bit stupid like DJing on a boat and emceeing bingo.
Yeah, and at this point you can absolutely
Yeah.
just go ahead and do that. Now is
You
the
have the
perfect
freedom
time.
to. Yeah.
Like a little
Even
bird.
if you'll be leaving amazing people like Joel and I behind to while away the hours making content in Melbourne.
I was gonna say, why don't we make a feature? And then just
Oh.
leave Mikey behind. He
I
comes
love that
back
idea.
and then
He'll come back.
we're just too good for
Both
it.
of us are absolutely beyond famous. We've started our own podcast, Speaky Blokes, perhaps.
Speaky
yeah,
Blokes.
and then left him high and dry in the dust.
Chatty fellas.
Just letting you know what you're in for. Aaron won't do any social media content or video content, and you'll edit all the audio podcasts, and you'll do all the imaging.
Way to sell me.
Better yet,
Way
why
to
don't we
sell
just literally rereplace him on Talkie Boys?
That's-
just keep that.
That's great.
going.
Except we'll grab someone for social media and not pay them.
If
And
you want to do all the work, Bucko, then like, I'm glad. I'll leave now.
got too real quick.
I'll
Open
start
the
hiking to Miami if I have to get away from it.
All right, we can throw Mikey to the side now, Mr.
Love that.
Aaron.
Hello, that's me. That's my name.
Like
That's
Well,
the best
when you go-
ASMR
when-
I've ever heard.
Well, audio listeners. Oh, you do smell lovely this evening. Where are you off to? You want a bus? You want a tram?
Show me that pit. Show me a little pitty. Oh, you need some Rexona. Oh.
Ooh.
Lynx Africa.
I can
Go.
smell the musk of the sweaty man sitting next to you on your bus.
What's his name? Gustav? Why don't you say hi?
Say hi to Gustav. Or let us. Turn us up. Hi, Gustav.
I'm glad I have an outro now. That's good. That's good. Because when you guys started doing Talkie Boys, I've started following Aaron as well and seeing this type of stuff he was doing. Like, creative people love seeing more people.
Yes.
But I can't pinpoint what's your main thing. Like, I've seen you as DOP man now, so a couple of your films at the Deacon thing. What are you hoping to take yourself?
To not so subtly flex on all y'all haters out there.
You wish you had haters.
You know, with that intro, I just know I need to take a step back.
Yeah, take a big step back. Recently won an LGBTQI. That's right. I delve in that.
Hey, how about derailing
environment
yourself?
as well.
Just talk about
Okay.
it.
Recently won an award for best film in Geelong. Recently, I was doing cinematography for that. So I do enjoy the filmmaking aspect. And cinematography has been my focus, but you're right. I'm kind of all over the place at the moment. I think that's purely because I've been doing a lot of uni work, and that's all about to wrap up. And I'm very excited to get into the YouTube stuff. A lot of stuff is definitely coming. I just need to get my act together. I've been moving house.
Real quick
yada,
though,
yada.
you're a shocker with selling yourself. I mean, he has done like
That's true.
a heap. Like he's
Can
done.
you sell me?
Step
Can you
aside.
sell? Yeah,
Let me just Mike explain. your
Mike's playing.
sentence.
Oh, I'm gonna get that tattooed on my forehead. I mean, he's done DOP work, of
Yes.
course, and he's done a lot of film work and like producing or being a grip, like lighting. He's done literally everything to do with a film. Then he's also hosted a TV show that's gone to air on Australian TV. Like that's huge, and he was like the main of 2 hosts. He's done that. He's MC trivia nights as well. Like he's done. I can understand your confusion because he just does
a lot of
so
different
much.
things.
Yeah.
I think with indecisiveness comes, a lot of different experiences. And I think that's kind of where I'd like to continue going. I'm still looking for things that I'd like to be doing. Obviously, in an ideal circumstance, I'd get into the film industry immediately. But as you and I both know, the Australian film industry, much like my appearance, is quite runtish. So I can't.
Yes, quite.
You happy? So I'm
Without
You're
using
welcome.
any bad words
Scratch
to
Yeah, it's
blacklist
a
myself.
lot of, yeah, I don't know. It's the film industry in Australia is largely supported by the government in a lot of different areas, and it's difficult to get somewhere. I know they're building a new studio in the Docklands at the moment. That could be. Future employment opportunities for a lot of filmmakers out there. Keep an eye on that, boys and goys. But
Thanks.
I think in regards to traveling like Mikey is, I'm definitely keen to do that because I think a lot of self-exploration in regards to what I'd like to be doing with my life is needed. To seriously answer the question, I'm still figuring it out. But I'm enjoying figuring it out. And I think once I've finished with the whole university thing, which Mikey skipped by not studying at uni, I think that'll kind of open a lot more doors in regards to what I'm able to do. But yeah, open to collaboration, wink, wink. And
Wink, indeed.
And definitely looking forward to the freedom, which no uni life will provide me.
Yeah.
How was that for articulation? I only stumbled on 4 words there. I think I'm doing pretty
He
well.
was counting every single one.
That's why he kept stumbling.
But no, I can definitely relate that you definitely have to go and try a bunch of different things. Like
Definitely.
I don't know what I want to do still either. It's like sometimes you got to do a podcast and you got to make films and you got to do everything related to
Yeah.
all those different things.
Because being employable in the entertainment industry means being flexible as well. That's
Exactly.
the thing I learned, working with the Margaret Footage Show. I learned that just doing lighting isn't enough. You've got to learn how to use a camera. You've got to learn how to be good, on camera sometimes. And I will say that hosting a TV show for Channel 31 was so much fun. One, because all the attention was on me for once, but, also just because it's a whole process and it's much like theatre. I don't know if you guys have done, I know you've done theatre in the past. I don't know how much theatre you've done, but it's very group collaborative. And that's something I, know that I really want to incorporate in work life is group collaboration.
How did you start content? Because you didn't go to uni for it.
Just turning it on.
I'm just like really intrigued because like you're obviously a massive creative in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why you're attracted to and want to do a podcast about creatives. But I never knew how you got into it. You just started pumping out films that were like of a really high quality early on.
I guess I really like visual content as well. Like whenever, say if I hear a song or if I just think of ideas, I see it very visually. So I would die if I couldn't try and create those visual images into a thing.
Yeah.
Like say all the old stuff on my YouTube is just trash, but it's
Yeah.
like a lot of visual stuff that I used to take it from just like high school phone videos, the dumb
Yeah.
videos you just
Of course,
take
100%.
sometimes. It's like, because I wasn't actually filming for content, I would instead make content out of those videos.
So super
It's exactly what we did. We
Yeah.
filmed stuff on phones, even separately before we actually got to know each other.
Yeah.
It was very congruent with like what you did. I think a lot of people in our generation kind of start doing that, but they don't realize like all of the doors that they could be opening if they were to pursue that sort of stuff. Because now's like the golden age of like homemade videos.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's insane.
So I was going to say, why downsize to audio only in the prime of video content?
Oh, here we go. I'm about to get roasted.
We're going.
I'd love
The
to
seriousness is over. We're just going to roast from now.
I'd love to hear your answer first before I go through.
Okay, let me answer. I'm stepping on eggshells. To answer that question for you, Joel.
For any of the Talkie Boys listeners listening who need answers,
We're sorry. I'm sure, you know, as you tend to, as you pump, you know, more and more podcasts out, you'll realize that, and you probably already know, that creating a podcast just purely auditory wise is difficult. And to incorporate syncing up the cameras, you know, editing it, making it funny with that
I mean,
sort
purely
of,
visual.
yeah,
and
with
audio.
visual as well.
Yeah.
That is a big project. And I think that's why we were having trouble, is because what we talked about before, the whole chatting aspect and making it casual, making it a catch up, was getting hindered by how big each episode was getting to edit. So I'd spent, and on top of that, Spotify was getting far more listeners than YouTube was. So I'd be sitting down for, you know, a few hours. I know you edit quicker than me. Yeah. But I'd be sitting down for a few hours pumping out this what I thought was a great visual episode. And it'd get barely any views on YouTube, whereas Spotify was actually where we were getting our main fan base. So that's why we decided to downgrade. And you can call it downgrading, but I think it's actually helped us.
I think it just gave more respect to the medium of,
Yep.
like, we wanted to do an audio podcast from the get-go, but cameras works because Aaron wanted to do film. But then Aaron started doing more film work outside. It's really just a busyness thing. We just didn't have time to edit that.
So all jokes aside, you could say that you wanted to go more quantity.
Yeah.
And really hone in on that.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think,
I mean, it's still quality, but
quality in a different way, because Mikey's very good with his audio editing. And if we're getting more viewers on Spotify, listeners, whatever you call them, then, you know, we can put more effort into that aspect. So you're right. And yeah, we're both very busy people when it comes to our own sort of stuff. And this was always like something that we were doing on the side together that we weren't getting paid for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's why we decided to downgrade. So,
yeah. Okay.
Okay. How political was that? Let's see. I did okay. Am I doing all right?
Very diplomatic. You also threw me under the bus of the wee, but
one thing I did want to bring it back to was we were talking about, it is the age of sort of home video content, and everyone has the potential to be doing so much, but some people are just sort of afraid.
And yeah, well, going online, you get a lot of people, a lot of different people viewing your stuff. It's
anybody,
It's not like invite based. It's anyone can access that. And it's up there, you know, quote unquote forever. So it's daunting, definitely.
Is it one thing I did want to touch on is we're all pretty open about our social anxiety here in this episode of the podcast.
Definitely.
I'm just wondering if that has held you back or sort of still holding back your sort of creative ambitions in any way.
Do you want to go first or shall I?
Yeah, I mean,
it's a serious topic.
No, it's tough because when you start having an audience, the pressure builds. And when people are reaching out to you saying, hey, this is cool, this is shit, you start second guessing a lot. I started getting that pressure on me when I started doing Joy. And when they just put in front of me the figures, like how many listeners we had, and it was upwards of 20,000. And that's like the biggest I've ever had before. And I thought, I've actually got to start filtering what I say, and who will I offend if I say this, and that constant filter starts to really get you tired, and then it's like, of course, the anxiety comes in, and you think, wow, the only reason people are listening is because of my personality, and that's we go back to that all the time, from emceeing something or even like working at the Fox and just handing out stuff in the street. People, if they don't like me, it's because of me. And like other jobs, you know, you work at Cotton On, you sell a T-shirt, great, cool, but
it's transactional. It's you know, hello, how are you, goodbye.
With emceeing or something, you've got to be liked. If you're not liked, your personality doesn't come through well, you're done. But also, you're done.
But the challenge is then not over filtering yourself as well, and then turning into a robot, which a lot of the more corporate kind of stations, I think, you know, are doing, which is, you know, to protect their own back, obviously, but it also makes it.
No one wants a controversy.
It doesn't feel, no one wants a controversy, but it also feels more transactional. It also feels
Yeah, you
more
want it
corporate.
to be really organic. And that's the thing. You can't then think, I've got to be organic. Be organic. Like, so
it's tough.
You've got to learn to turn your brain off. And that's tough when you've got anxiety for sure.
On the other side of that, like dealing with things like the ADHD, I know we joke about it a lot, that, and I'm sure there's a bit of dyslexia thrown in there. Going back to the TV thing, reading auto cues, that's really tough to do, especially when you're trying to deal with keeping on a smile. And if anyone's ever seen Fanbase, it's airing on Channel 31, blah, blah, blah. But you can see sometimes I struggle, and I think a lot of people do. A lot of people who are new to the industry can struggle with trying to keep a face on, trying to keep all the turmoil that's happening in your head going, and keeping that from turning into a train wreck. So
I remember once on that, because it's not just the prompter and your smile. You've got behind the cameras 15 people. I remember once I was doing these interviews and we were cracking jokes with the band I was interviewing, and it was fun for us, but no one was laughing on the set.
Yeah.
And it was so awkward because they didn't know that they could laugh. And I was sitting there like sweating bullets. So I'm thinking, am I not funny? Are the band just laughing because they're trying to make me feel like, is there any chemistry here? All of that comes in, and you drive home for hours and you're just thinking, God, I'm useless.
Coming from a theatre background, or both of us, coming from a theatre background, you have an audience there. If you crack a joke, everyone laughs. Going into TV and radio, and even with you online, you're sitting here, picture for a second, you're sitting here and you crack a joke to the camera, and then you realise the emptiness of the room that you're in. It's kind of this little bit of this philosophical kind of existential crisis you have when you're... So no, it's the golden age, but it's definitely tough. It's still tough. So no, great question, definitely.
If you do imagine all of the individual one view counts, all the viewers in a room together, it can be a daunting act for him
all
sometimes.
the time. Dude, 100%.
You get 80 views on a video in a week, and they're like, 80 views, that's not much. But then you think about this room that we're in right now. Imagine 80 people listening to us live, like right now. It's intimidating.
80 handshakes to people, that's a sweaty hand.
But it's also validating, especially when the good fans out there, or the good listeners out there, friends, albeit, but when they support you. I think that's what I enjoy the most out of it, is when you actually get interactions. And that's why I think a lot of the big creators out there struggle, is because it's oversaturated. And that's why I think a lot of the smaller content creators that have communities around them are often a lot more happy, even if they're not making money. Right.
I think going back to the whole, you're sort of selling yourself, and you almost want to filter yourself to try and reach more. But I feel like in today's day and age, you really have to, there is a real...
There it is. This is what we're talking about.
We're out here getting cancelled, is what you're saying. Everyone's out here, left, right, and centre, dropping like flies. Hey, Will Smith kicked a baby, or did he? Will Smith never kicked that baby, but everyone's saying he kicked that baby, and then suddenly his image is tainted for the next 6 months because someone made a lie up. Like, it's scary. Being in it is scary. The amount of times I've been brought into my program director's office for radio because we said little things, like Tom said, I handball like a girl. And apparently we've got hundreds of complaints about that. And so we've got to get brought into an office to then get debriefed on that and tell them we're not going to say that again. Little things that you wouldn't even think about. Like, yes, you can't say throw like a girl anymore because there's a whole movement about that. But you've got to be so careful. That's why it's great being a YouTuber, because you can edit. Like Logan Paul, you're an idiot for not editing out. How do you not have a team that edits that kind of stuff, right? You can edit and think, okay, would that offend someone? Even if it would I want to make someone laugh, or do I want to offend someone? And it's like there's a fine line. But you're so scared of getting cancelled.
With social media nowadays, though, it's like if you are a dickhead, you will, you can't really get away with that.
Well, it's the golden age of content, also the golden age of anonymous judgment. So you get judged left, right, and center. And
I mean, it's so easy to follow what they say, and don't care about what people think about you. But it's kind of like it's still very easy to penetrate that barrier.
Oh, big time. I get caught up in the likes so much. It's really bad. I love that Instagram took away the likes, but I'll still click on the insights and look. I mean, I've gotten better with it. I used to look at my insights all the time and go, when should I post? Sunday nights, 9 p.m. works best. And I'd save this post. Now I just post it whenever. I don't care.
You get sucked into it really quick. You were saying, I remember when you were getting that huge TikTok viewership, and then the video you posted after that, got nothing in comparison.
Yeah.
He was saying, I understand why so many big content creators struggle so much.
Yeah.
Because the attention that you get and the validation you get, it's like a drug, you know? You get addicted to that. And without it, or if people leave, if people forget about you, like, what are you anymore?
time.
Yeah.
It went semi-viral for like maybe a week, and it was so exciting. But the videos I put out after that were 1,000 times better, and then they got 1,000 views.
Yeah.
But a week before that, 1,000 views would have made my day.
Yeah.
But as soon as you reach those numbers, like I was talking to this dude called Lachlan Fairbairn from this YouTube channel, the Fairbairn Films, and he was talking about
Just a little
how,
YouTube channel. You probably haven't heard of them. Fairbairn Film.
he was talking to me about how when you start getting 250,000 likes and then 1 million likes, it doesn't change. You quickly get adjusted to that. And so if you the next week you get 20,000 likes instead of your regular 100,000, you're thinking, damn, something's wrong with me. When maybe 2 months before you're only in the hundreds. But your mind quickly adjusts, which is awful. It's an awful thing, but I guess you kind of have to adjust to it. Otherwise, you're in constant state of shock of, oh my God.
Especially with TikTok, you can have a hit and then just that's it. Exactly.
You are nothing. Yeah.
You've peaked, man. It's all over.
That's why I'm moving overseas. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, it's just restarting from the ground up.
I had to.
But yeah, it is a big thing to not get caught up in the likes, because you will just sort of soil yourself. That's probably not a good.
That's a podcast highlight right there. Joel Harris admits to soloing himself live on air.
As in, you just sort of bury yourself in this, like, oh yeah, I'm not good enough. It's sort of, you really sort of ask yourself why you really can't be doing it for the big views. You kind of really have to be doing it because you want to do it, because that's what you enjoy doing. You enjoy getting videos like that out despite whatever attention it gets.
Your best work will come from when you're having fun with it too.
I agree. Yeah.
Like the video we made that went viral, sorry matey, beat you to it. The video we made that went viral was an idea that I had when we were shooting something else. And I said, I've got this really dumb idea, but I think it's funny.
I thought it was dumb.
I thought it was so dumb. He still thinks it's dumb.
It is dumb. And all the kids are like, all the people commenting on it is loving it.
But we had so much fun because we literally, like, the highlight of the video was us running down the street, flailing our arms everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was just fun to do. And when we finished it, we're like, well, that was dumb, but that was fun. Best things come when you're just having an absolute blast.
And it's obvious if you're not enjoying it. Look at all the YouTubers out there that have very obviously stopped enjoying what they're doing and are doing it because that's their job now. It's obvious, very obvious. And people see right through that, especially online when, they're not going to get any flack for judging you.
People are smart cookies these days.
Very smart. And I think it's important to, if you're not enjoying it, to as you need to do sometimes, realize how far you come and realize where you are. Because even if, you're not getting validation for what you're doing right now because it's not getting as much attention, look how much attention you were getting a year ago.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what I was trying to say before I screamed. I don't know how I'm going to edit around that, by the way.
Keep it raw. Keep it all.
It'll be bad for the auditory listeners. They won't be able to see me like, they'll just get the scream. But it's so much easier to just be you rather than trying to put on that sort of character that you think people will like.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're
genuine.
And there is an audience for you if you're really, putting out and trying to do unique content.
Our mate Caden says there's a niche for everything. There's an audience for everything. It doesn't matter how long it take. It's the fact that ASMR's taken off so big, there's an audience for everything. And the people have weird fetishes. You might tap into a weird fetish community.
Like bathwater as well.
I personally don't mind the ASMR community, but that's just me. Anyway, let's move on.
Go to an ASMR podcast.
I really like to. I've been suggesting it to Mikey D for so long and he hasn't been listening to it.
It's really penetrating my right ear right now. I'm kind of uncomfortable.
You're welcome. Beautiful.
Yeah. Is that sort of an issue you'd come across as well when trying to find, say you're just trying all these different things that you'd want to try and find something niche that you really enjoy?
In film or in anything that
I mean, in film too. Yeah. There's plenty of niches in films as well.
I think people get very caught up with whoever's the biggest and what they say. So I think what people forget is that it's those who change the game up a little bit and those who bring their own aspects to things that actually the game changes.
Yeah.
If you change up the game, hence game changer, baby. Yeah. So you look at Roger Deakins, right? And he's quoted by saying, I hate refractions on lenses. I hate, when something that isn't the image I'm looking at gets in the way. So like lens flares, yada, yada. Me personally, no, I think wearing glasses all the time, we talked about before, I have that in my daily life. Lens flares are something that can make an image more beautiful. But if I was to just listen to Roger Deakins and not bring that own personal aspects to my film, would it really be a film that I'm making, or would it be something that I'm just trying to copy from someone else?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, but I definitely went on a tangent that I enjoyed.
something you can
okay.
quote.
I liked it.
I reckon you're your own niche.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Your personality is now a niche thing.
You can't try and be someone else.
Yeah, and you're not going to enjoy
yeah.
it if you do.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's with the game changing as well. It's also how you evolve with the game. It's like if you stay in your past little old way of things, it's like nothing's going to change. It's not going to be interesting.
It's tough.
Don't have a formula. Never have a formula for the content you're making, whatever that might be. Something will work, yeah, but always try and push. I keep going back to the radio show, but that's the most consistent thing I do. But we have consistent segments each week, like this thing called Tom's Wisdom and Water Cooler Chats. Yeah. But I always try to throw something new into it. And we'll always brainstorm and always come up with bigger and better. Even if the audience hates it that week, if we're not trying to do new things, then we'll get stale and the show will sound stale. So either way, the audience will not enjoy it.
Yeah,
so you just got to keep going till
but
it
you
works.
enjoy that creative aspect.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that's why it's yeah.
I love recreating the wheel. People say don't recreate, don't fix something that's not broke. I love it. If you're not innovating all the time, then what's the point of being a creator? You're not creating anything.
Yeah.
You're recycling. You're a recycler. You're not a creator.
Exactly. You can't keep reposting the same TikTok. You got to keep trying to make more and just.
Even if you don't get views and then you quit after 3 videos.
Was that a jab at me?
No, that was jab at me.
No, we're coming back. Don't worry, one day. So
you're thinking it wasn't a delivery.
Hey, he's about to do his podcast. Can you just sorry, Joel, really quick. Can you just respect this man on the podcast right now? Hey, industry professional. You need to just respect that he's got a creative pursuit. It's not all about you today.
Here it comes. Anyway, Joel, thank you so much.
Welcome back to Talkie Boy. Also, really like this Mickey Mouse here.
That's great.
thanks. It's been the family.
Please
page.
get us back on track. Thank you, Joel.
So I do want to talk about some serious business. So with Michael leaving,
Yeah.
and Talkie Boys disintegrating,
Yep. Yeah, that's a great way to
are
put it.
we? I'm not sure if you're allowed to say this on the air, or if you have to contact your publicist or something. Will we get a farewell episode of Talkie Boys?
It's been spoken about for sure.
I was going to keep it very vague, but that's fine.
I think I think it's still quite vague.
Are you
Yes.
hearing it here first?
There have been whispers.
There's been whispers in the wind. The thing about Talkie Boys is that it's not just a podcast, it's more of a feeling. And right now I'm not feeling it.
You heard it here first. Oh,
No, I don't know, probably.
put that on a t-shirt.
If we've got time to do it, we'll do it.
Yeah.
I said to Aaron today, and Aaron was shocked, but I go, I'm going to be away for probably about 8 months, potentially longer. I might not come back next year, I don't know. And when I do come back, I want to go to do regional radio. So we can only assume the next episode we do of Talkie Boys will probably be the last, because what's the point of holding on to like, hey audience, Mikey might be back. How you doing, Mikey? I don't know, guys. Like, no one wants to hold on to that. So if we just say it's dead for now,
I like to think of it as a to be continued?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah.
So, hey, if he comes back and the settings are right, because, I'll be wildly successful by the time he
big
comes
time.
back. Like, I'll be
you'll be able to
huge. You
bring
watch
the real
out.
thrust
of
to the
course.
podcast.
So if I can make time for him when he comes back, I think...
I wish he wouldn't make time for me.
Look at it this way. Is a flower beautiful because it lasts forever? No. A flower's beautiful because one day it shrivels up and dies.
But then from that flower, not only did the bees
It's vulnerable.
and they repollinate, but something
Where are you
new
taking
grows.
this?
Something new grows, like a phoenix out of the ashes. Talkie Boys might not rise as Talkie Boys. We might come back as something else. And who knows what
Chatty
that's going to
fellas.
Chatty fellas, I'm telling you, that's the
Oh my
thing.
God.
To answer your question much
the
more,
answer. Don't answer
much,
more than
much
that.
more simply, I think
No.
we do, despite all of it, we do enjoy it. Yes, it's a bit disorganized, this and that. We do love it. I think we will definitely make some sort of episode 2 farewell season 2, whether season 3 will happen. Who knows?
Here's the problem though, is that he doesn't do any of the editing, so I've got to edit my farewell episode.
That's going to be
supposed to be doing
emotional, mate.
online social media, but we haven't made any new content, and so I'm kind of like, here's a picture of my hummus.
Now
from
that you're
Nando's.
free, you have no excuse. I was going to.
That is, yeah.
You
that
should
is
record
true.
episods at Nando's. That could be your niche. Man.
I was
so
planning
often.
on pitching to Nando's. Aaron had a great idea of doing hom ones,
It's like hot ones, but with hummus.
and we just do like progressively spicier hummus with guests in a Nando's store. We haven't pitched it yet, so Nando's, if you're listening,
Nando's.
we'd love to do hom ones.
6 to 8
But-
months, maybe. Who knows?
I don't know what I'm doing that, maybe.
I like the idea of not telling whoever the guest is that it's the same hummus every time and having them go, yeah, that is a little bit more spicy, isn't it? And us just being like, oh, what an idiot. Anyway, we'll see. Oh no, I've just outed the whole idea.
Inside joke. Oh, it's
But I
funny.
think Talkie Boys is one of those things that could last forever. I mean, it's hard to say goodbye to creative projects.
Definitely.
Like, even,
I'm
I mean,
happy to
working
kill
on
it.
working
I'm
on
so excited.
Working on film, it's like sometimes you're like, I don't want to say goodbye to this set. I just want to work with you fellas forever.
I think regardless of whether it continues on Mikey, and I definitely will, and I think we're definitely going to continue working together. At least I would like to.
Wait, the thing with us, like, in all sincerity, we work best as best friends. We don't work well at all as business colleagues. We like that, and then that takes a toll on the friendship.
We almost need a producer or someone to micromanage us.
But, like, we
We need
need
a middleman between you
middleman,
two so
yeah.
you don't hate each other.
Yeah.
It's just hard. Like Hamish and Andy have done such a good job of balancing friendship and business.
I
talk.
don't know how they do it. I do not know how they do it.
We just operate really well as a friendship. Like, but my problem is I'm happy when because Aaron's trope is that he comes late to things, right? and that's
Speaking of today,
I'm fine. Yeah,
I
I'm
was 10 minutes late.
I'm fine with that as a friendship thing. But then when it comes to business things, I get antsy with that. So as a friendship thing, we work well as best mates.
It's almost like when we're in the element of like when we're in our element, you know, being friends. That's when great content.
Best content comes.
It's just that no one who is organized enough, as you know, like no crew is
Yeah.
there to film it. It's almost like
It's all us.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's yeah. You're right. Balancing it is very
And
difficult.
when you've got to do lighting and you've got to make sure that the cameras are good and I've got to make sure the audio
That's
levels are
tough.
fine and I've got to set it up and we've got to make sure everything looks good. By the time you do all of that, it's a 30-minute process. Your mind's nowhere near content. Your mind's so
yeah.
on aesthetics. And then trying to switch into content mode, it's just a bit tricky.
And it's difficult because I've kind of tried to bring a lot, at least like suggested, you know, bring a producer, perhaps someone to release social media, but you've always wanted to keep it just us two, and that's
Yeah.
completely understandable. So you know, it's difficult, baby.
yeah. I think
yeah.
Talkie Boy, it is a friendship thing. It's a thing
big
that
time.
it's sort of you got your best mate and you high five him. It's
Yeah.
like there's a bit of Talkie Boys in everyone.
it's more of a
There's
high
bit
five.
of Talkie Boys in everyone.
That, put that on a t-shirt.
There you
It's
go.
more of a high five, less of a handshake. I like to
That
say.
could also be incriminating. There's a bit of Talkie Boys in everyone.
You've got a friend in me.
Oh, I'm holding Mike's thigh now.
we discussed before the podcast started that primarily my audience is a gay audience, and it's,
On Joy.
which is amazing because they're the most supportive people in the world, but they're also the most flirtatious people in the world. And my Instagram DMs get slid into so often.
Oh, big flex.
I was going to say,
Big
did you want to
flex.
bring up the content you wanted to bring to the podcast right before we started?
So
recording?
beforehand, so we're starting to get. I don't know whether it's real, like we get recognized in public and stuff, like very
Occasionally.
rarely.
Occasionally.
Like for Tom and Mikey, it's happened like once, and for Talkie Boys, it's happened once.
It'll happen more at parties where friends of friends
Yeah.
will be like, oh, you guys are those talky fellas.
Pretty much how I met you guys.
Yeah,
I went up to
yeah.
you first. I was like, you're the other Talkie
yeah,
Boy.
it's kind of like how it usually.
Really, it's just a podcast for our mates at the moment, but we get so excited every single time.
Yeah.
On Instagram before, I got sent a message. I don't know if I should be saying this live, but this person sent me a photo of themselves in a bra, and it was a female, not a male for
It's
once.
the first time ever that your career in the gay radio station has gotten you like female attention.
Yeah, and it said, you were really good on Tom and Mikey, and I was like,
It's made his whole week.
it was made my whole week.
Whoever you are, thank you.
I've
You've been
never
on
had,
such
like-
a high this entire podcast.
Thank you for giving him the validation I never could.
I feel like I should thank her for it's made it that much better here.
It has.
I know if it was just Aaron and flat Michael, God,
Oh dear.
we're not condoning sending
Damn,
photos
always
of
flat
yourself
Aaron
nude.
and only joyous Michael. Oh dear.
See, I'm supposed to be the straight man.
Oh, flamboyant straight man.
No, the straight man in the comedy. Anyway, it's
Yeah,
alright. You wouldn't
it was a
understand.
joke I stemmed off the
Oh,
thing.
I see. Okay, this is
See,
why
guess
it's
what
not
I'm going to
working.
deal with? So keen to go for 6 months away from this clown of a human.
I was going to say on that note.
On that bombshell.
Joel, thank you very much for having both of us.
No, it's
We've
my pleasure.
thoroughly enjoyed it. I've loved squeezing Michael's thigh occasionally under the table without you knowing about it.
You made it obvious every time you said, "I'm squeezing Michael's thigh." I don't know how he wouldn't know about it
It's
unless
for the
he's
audio
deaf.
listeners. It's for the audio. Stop undermining me.
No, it's honestly been my pleasure, fellas. Like, I had to catch it before Mikey went off, and
course.
I'm sure I'll see you both individually. Whichever one of you becomes
Michelle.
more successful,
I think we'll both enjoy
Do you want to
writing.
place bets? Like, who do you think?
No,
will become
let's
more
let's
successful?
definitely not place bets. I think it's suffice it to say, if
Because he knows he's like,
if
"Wow!"
my film career does not take off, I will thoroughly enjoy writing.
Working at Coles.
your
And with that, we thank you all so much for listening. This has been another episode of Talking Boys.
I was gonna say, do you want to just steal my audio? This is the farewell episode. I was trying to get the beat there. All right, now, I was gonna say if you want to just wrap it up, that's fine. You're the more experienced podcasters than me.
What's the podcast name again? Sorry.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Escapade. This has been a lot of fun. A bit of a longer episode, depending on how much I cut. There's
We talked some serious stuff in this podcast.
yeah that you'll never hear. Maybe I should release an uncut version. Maybe I should start a Patreon and just have this as
That's
the
something we
Patreon
always
content.
wanted to do, but didn't have the time to do. Patreon's sick.
I'm
People-
telling you, producer.
Why do people want to give away money like that? I've never wanted to give $2 to a creator.
And another tangent is born.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk for another half an hour?
Follow us on Instagram at Talkie Boys,
Boys,
where we won't post
where we
any
won't post any content.
because that's
Mikey's
Aaron's job.
doing it.
Aaron is useless.
Joel, thank you so much for having us on the Creative Escapade. It's been wild. If you guys made it this far, well done.
Yeah, no. Well
Thanks
done.
for listening to
Please,
us.
please leave a comment if on your favorite part to know.
Can you leave comments on Spotify?
Then you'll have to view the visuals. You
And
have
if
to
you're-
look at the faces.
If you're a brand sponsor, give this guy a bit of money so he can get Escapade.
Joel, I'm sincerely sorry. Just sincerely sorry.
Thank you for listening.
Just
we'll see
while
you
he's
next
not
time.
here.
Hey.
While he's not, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for all of you.
Because the
I'm so
podcast,
sorry.
the name of the podcast is Escapade, right? Escapade, like paid as in money.
Bye.
Do you get it?
See you later.